Hey guys, so in today's video, as you already saw it by the title of it, we're gonna take a look at the most basic and essential tips that you should know about if you get into playing the legend Apex Legends, Jesus. There is thousands of new players starting to play the game literally every single hour at this point, and I'll admit, not everyone knows what to do, not everyone knows how to play, and not everyone understands the basics, which is what I want to provide in this video. By the way, if by any chance you are living under the rock for the past 48 hours and you haven't heard about the game, it's completely free, new Battle Royale game available on all platforms. So yeah, there is no reason not to try it out pretty much. Alright, so let's get to it. What do you do when you want to start playing the Apex Legends? Well, that's simple. First you launch the game, and then, first thing you do after launching it, you go to the settings and you set up the right graphic settings for your computer so that it's not lagging, and also, you customize the key bindings the way you like it and feel it's the best for you. Also, remember about the sensitivity because that's quite crucial in an FPS game. After you do so and head over to the matchmaking, you will see that you're only able to play training mode before you get into the real match. Now, you have to go into training to actually start playing the real game, but I highly recommend you actually complete the whole training because it takes around 4-5 minutes max, and it provides a really good explanation of the core gameplay mechanics such as movement, shooting, looting items, using your abilities, using your gadgets, also swapping your weapons, etc, etc. It's really important, so get into it, complete it. It's really not long, it's really not hard, and you will really have a good understanding of the game by then. You finish the training and you're ready to get into the real match. Now, you have to play in trios. There is no duo or solo mode, so if you're looking for teammates, there is a good Discord, which I'm gonna link down in the description, where tons of players playing Apex are looking for new teammates, and at the time of me recording this video, there is over 1500 players online from all over the world, all of the regions, all of the platforms, so it's not really that hard to find someone to play with. And it's really good to play with someone who's actually listening to you and playing with you together, instead of a random guy just running off and not really paying attention to what you're doing. But you get into the game and you have to pick your legend, the character you want to play with. Each of them has unique traits, unique abilities, and in general is much different from one another. I don't necessarily want to focus on which one is the best in this video because, to be fairly honest, I don't know yet. It's been only 48 hours since the game was released, and I can tell so far that all of them are good. None of them are completely useless. Every single one of them is actually very useful, so just pick the one that suits your playstyle and think is the best for you. In my not so humble opinion, the easiest character to start playing with is Lifeline, because you get unlimited heals through the healing robot, and also you can call in supply drops, so it's a pretty neat character to start with. After everyone picks their legend, you will be in the plane flying over the map and you will have to pick the location where you want to jump. Now, Apex Legends is a bit different from all of the other Royale games because here you can actually jump together as one group. One person out of the trio will be randomly picked at the beginning of the round to be a jump master. Jump master will decide where all of you fly. You don't have to do anything if you're not a jump master. The other guy will pick the location for you and hopefully be able to actually fly there with you and your other teammate. You can jump alone without having to actually follow them. I think it's a left control on PC, and you will have to check the key bindings for consoles. I'm sorry, I don't own a console and I can't really check it. And also, if you are a jump master at the beginning of the round and you don't feel confident to actually be the person deciding where to drop, just hold left control and the jump master position will be awarded to someone else. So there is no must to actually go and be the guy picking the location. Yay! When it comes to picking the actual location where you want to drop, well, first of all, I recommend you go for the big locations because you need loot for 3 players, which isn't that common in this game, to be honest, in the smaller locations at least. And also, you will have a couple of different things marked on your minimap. You will have the blue circle indicating the higher tier loot zone. I recommend you go for it because at the time of me recording this video, not many players understand what it does yet. So not many players actually jump there, majority of them are scared that there's gonna be a lot of people there, and because of them being scared, there usually isn't much players there. And the same thing applies to the ship flying above the map, which actually stops in one location and you're able to get into it and loot some better items. But with the ship, many players actually already figured it out that there is better loot there and they tend to go for it, so it's a bit higher risk to go for them. Oh, and one more thing I didn't mention. High tier loot basically means that the items you will be able to obtain there are better. Stronger weapons, stronger armor, etc, etc. We're gonna get into it in a second. When it comes to looting and what items are the best ones to loot, generally, if you jump, the first thing you do is pick the weapon. You literally pick anything so that you can defend yourself if the other guy who actually isn't your teammate manages to pick something up. And that's pretty much the idea behind looting when you first drop. But when you can actually think about what items you want to pick up and you can actually categorize what's worth it, what's not, generally, there is a couple of tiers of items in Apex and they go like this. The white one is the lowest tier, then we have the blue item, which is slightly better, purple item, which is better than the blue one, and then we have the golden one, being the highest tier of items in Apex for now. I don't necessarily want to go into explaining all of the differences here amongst different types of equipment and colors because it would be quite long and I want to make this video relatively short, but in general, you always want to pick the highest tier item available to you. So, white is the worst one, then you have the blue one, then you have the purple one, and the golden one on top. You're not really gonna find golden items laying around, they're usually in the supply drops, but yeah, go for the purple items if you can. Once you loot the armor, you will get a shield protecting you and allowing you to withstand an extra damage in gunfights. Now, you will have to actually replenish the shield with shield cells after you get shot, of course, but it gives you extra protection, so make sure you actually have it filled up to maximum, pretty much all the time. And this brings me to another thing. Most importantly, you need HP, so you need to loot medkits, and you need to loot shield cells. Yes, two most crucial things. You need those if you want to survive. When it comes to weapons, if you just started playing the game, I recommend you go for anything that's not an SMG or a pistol. All of the other weapon categories are very good and they're much easier to use. SMGs tend to have low ammo capacities, or magazine capacities to be more precise, which make them quite difficult to actually use them effectively, considering pretty high time to kill. But all of the other weapon categories are really good. Alright, one more thing I want to go over is how do you respawn your teammates who died in a battle? Well, first of all, they have to completely die, so they cannot be in a state where you can actually revive them, because if you can revive them, you just come up to them and revive them. That's obvious, you guys know this. But if they die, you will have a limited amount of time to go to their loot and grab their card. Once you grab the card from their body, you will have to go to the respawn location. And those are marked with green dots all over the map, so just pick the one which is the closest to you and go there. You go, interact with it, put the card inside, and your teammate will be back in the game. However, there is one however here. They will be without items, so you will have to give them some weapon or bring them back to their old loot or loot something new, but they will be without items, so you will have to take care of that too, because they're pretty much defenseless at this point. And I know it was in the tutorial, or in the training you were supposed to do, but I suppose there were still people who didn't do the training, even though I specifically advised you to do so. I'm sure there was at least one person who skipped it. Anyway, that would be it for this tutorial. Let me know down in the comments if you want more videos explaining all of the stuff in Anthem. I will be uploading more of those. And yeah, as always, if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and I see you in Apex!